My husband did not try to contact me at all whatsoever to let me know that my daughter died. I found out because I live in Oklahoma, and my youngest son goes to school with a good friend of mine's nephew, and he told her nephew that his sister was murdered on a cruise ship. So I got a text message saying, "Hey, is Anna on a cruise? And you need to find out right away and call me." And I was like, "Do what?" So I called Anna's cell phone. She didn't answer. So then I got a hold of her on TikTok. Well, tried to get a hold of her on TikTok. She still didn't answer. So I started questioning, why is she asking me about that? So I got on my ex-husband's Facebook, where there was nothing on there. So I got on to Tabby, his second wife's Facebook, as the woman that raised my daughter. And there I seen a picture of her car with flowers on it, and Tabby saying they were going to leave it at the high school for a short time as a memorial for Anna. And so that's when I Googled 18-year-old dies on cruise ship is what I put in the search bar, and that's when my daughter's face popped up all over Google.
It was supposed to be the family vacation of a lifetime, a 6-day cruise across 3 Caribbean countries, the perfect getaway, until it wasn't. 18-year-old Anna Kepner was found murdered in her cabin, and the most likely suspect, her 16-year-old stepbrother, hasn't even been charged yet. We still don't know who killed Anna because so far no one has been charged. 18-year-old Anna Kepner was found murdered in her cabin, and the most likely suspect, her 16-year-old stepbrother, hasn't even been charged yet. And it's kind of odd because we have a lot of unanswered questions. I mean, a lot of information simply has not been released. But at the same time, there's a lot going on in this case. It seems like there are new updates every single day. And I wanted to put all of these things together in one place, a complete deep dive into the case. So everyone involved, a timeline of the events, what sort of information we have and what we're hoping to learn. So let's begin with Anna Kepner herself. She was 18 years old, living in Titusville, Florida, which is a pretty sizable city about 40 miles east of Orlando. Now, Anna went to a few different schools in Titusville, including Titusville High School, where she was a varsity cheerleader. But more recently, she was a senior at Temple Christian School. Just this year, Anna was baptized at Temple and had just begun to explore her Christian faith, religiously attending youth group at Grove Church. And before we get into all the details about Anna's death, I want to talk about her life. Here's how her family remembers her in the obituary. Quote, "Anna was pure energy, bubbly, funny, outgoing, and completely herself. She never had a filter, and that was part of her charm. Whether she was practicing new makeup looks, even if she had nowhere to go, making TikToks in front of the mirror, or blasting a perfectly curated playlist on the boat, she was also incredibly determined and hardworking, reliable, responsible, and always willing to help. She supported many local businesses when they needed an extra hand and had big dreams for her future. She planned to join the U.S. Navy after graduation and later become a canine police officer. Anna lived every day with her whole heart. She loved the sun, the water, boat days, island days, and beach days. Anything that let her soak in the light she so easily radiated to others." The obit went on to say, quote, "So it seems like Anna's entire life was ahead of her. She had a career plan for the future and was simply enjoying the last year as a high schooler before officially heading off into the adult world. And just last month, Anna was soaking up those last moments of childhood when her family went on a cruise vacation." Now, before I get into the timeline, let me lay out the people in Anna's family who went on the trip and are now part of this case. First, there's Anna's grandparents, Barbara and Jeffrey Kepner. Their son is Christopher Kepner, who is Anna's dad. Now, Anna's biological parents are no longer together, but Anna's dad has remarried, and his new wife is Anna's stepmom, Chantel Hudson. So as part of this big blended family trip, Christopher brought his kids, Anna and her siblings, and Chantel brought her kids to Anna's step-siblings. And this next part is very important, as Anna's 16-year-old stepbrother could play a major role in this case. But now, moving on to the timeline. On November 2nd, 2025, the Carnival Horizon cruise ship departed from Miami for a 6-day cruise. Anna and her entire family were there for takeoff and began their nearly week-long vacation. Between November 4th and 5th, the ship made stops in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, and Georgetown, Grand Cayman. And from all I've seen reported, the cruise went off without a hitch. I mean, it was probably a lot of exploring the cities that the ship would dock in, maybe laying out in the sun or swimming at the pool, all things Anna loved. On November 6th, the cruise left Cozumel, Mexico, headed back to Miami for the trip to wrap up. And it was also the last day Anna was ever seen alive. Now, that night, Anna had dinner with her family as usual, but she decided to leave early. She was complaining about her braces, that they were hurting, so she just excused herself before dinner finished. But later that night, Anna was seen again. Her grandmother, Barbara, told ABC News that Anna was all dressed up and found her in the casino. And she said, quote, "Mima, I love you guys. I'll see you later." And that was the last time Anna was ever seen alive. The next day, on November 7th, a housekeeper entered the cabin that Anna had been staying in. Now, she shared this room with her 14-year-old biological brother and that 16-year-old stepbrother. While cleaning this room, the housekeeper found a shocking scene. Anna's body was under the bed. It was wrapped up in a blanket and covered by life vests. Anna's grandfather, Jeffrey Kepner, says he immediately knew something was wrong when he heard an announcement aboard the ship telling staff to report to Anna's room. According to Anna's death certificate, her date of death was November 7th, 2025. The time of death was 11:17 a.m., and the death occurred on the cruise ship. That means it was sometime between the time Anna saw her grandparents at the casino the night of November 6th and just before noon on November 7th when she was murdered. At first, the cause and manner of death weren't revealed, but investigators later determined Anna's manner of death was homicide and her cause of death was mechanical asphyxia. Now, the Kepner family later told People magazine the FBI believes that Anna died from something referred to as a bar hold, meaning an arm was placed across Anna's neck that asphyxiated her. And we'll talk more about this in the interview, but here's the bottom line. Someone did this to Anna. It did not happen naturally. The day after Anna's body was found, on November 8th, the ship docked in Miami, and when the ship arrived, the FBI was there waiting. They came aboard and then began the investigation. Carnival later released a statement about all this, reading, quote, "The death of a guest traveling on the Carnival Horizon voyage that returned to Port Miami on Saturday morning, November 8th, is being investigated by the FBI. Since this is an ongoing matter under the jurisdiction of law enforcement, it is up to the FBI's Miami Public Affairs Office to provide further details. Our focus is on supporting the family of our guest." The FBI investigation began almost immediately, but no one was taken into custody. In fact, at the time of this very recording, there still hasn't been anyone taken into custody or any charges filed. But there are reports that Anna's 16-year-old stepbrother is being investigated by the FBI. And here's where things get even more tricky. He's a minor, he's 16 years old, and he hasn't been charged. So we're not going to show you his picture or even say his name. But here's what I can tell you. According to People magazine, the stepbrother was seen going in and out of the room he shared with Anna around the time she was last seen alive. People magazine also reports he says he can't remember what happened leading up to Anna's death. After the ship docked, this stepbrother was taken to a mental health facility according to court documents obtained by People. Now remember, this boy is Anna's stepbrother. His mother, Chantel Hudson, is still amidst a custody battle with her ex-husband, Tom Hudson. And we know all of this information because on November 17th, Chantel filed a motion seeking to postpone a custody hearing. The motion allegedly states, quote, "She has been advised through discussions with FBI investigators and her attorneys that a criminal case may be initiated against one of the minor children of this instant action." That, of course, means federal investigators are going to want to speak to this kid, and they have reportedly done so. Barbara Kepner, Anna's grandmother, says she saw the stepbrother during this interview. She called him an emotional mess. She told ABC News, quote, "He couldn't even speak. He couldn't believe what happened." Barbara also spoke about Anna's relationship with this stepbrother, saying they were just like brother and sister, two peas in a pod. Anna's dad, Christopher Kepner, told ABC News, quote, "He was a normal kid, and I would have never thought that any of this would have happened." Now, Anna's dad also spoke about the status of the investigation, telling People magazine, quote, "Right now, my best course of action is to let the FBI do what they're doing. They have the evidence that they need. When they make an arrest, then we'll start seeing the justice side of things." But other family members disagree. Anna's aunt, Crystal Wright, spoke to local TV station Fox 35 in Orlando. She said she knows that Anna fought for her life. And she also said, quote, "We don't understand why. If the boy is a suspect, why has he not been charged yet? What's happening there?" Now, as I said, Crystal Wright is Anna's aunt. Her sister, Heather Wright, is Anna's biological mother. And according to Heather herself, her relationship with Anna was strained. Here's what she told Ashley Banfield on News Nation.
My ex-husband did not try to contact me at all whatsoever to let me know that my daughter died. I found out because I live in Oklahoma, and my youngest son goes to school with a good friend of mine's nephew, and he told her nephew that his sister was murdered on a cruise ship. So I got a text message saying, "Hey, is Anna on a cruise? And you need to find out right away and call me." And I was like, "Do what?" So I called Anna's cell phone. She didn't answer. So then I got a hold of her on TikTok. Well, tried to get a hold of her on TikTok. She still didn't answer. So I started questioning, why is she asking me about that? So I got on my ex-husband's Facebook, where there was nothing on there. So I got on to Cabby, his second wife's Facebook, as the woman that raised my daughter. And there I seen a picture of her car with flowers on it, and Cabby saying they were going to leave it at the high school for a short time as a memorial for Anna. And so that's when I Googled 18-year-old dies on cruise ship is what I put in the search bar, and that's when my daughter's face popped up all over Google.
Heather Wright also alleges that she wore a literal disguise so she could attend Anna's celebration of life on November 20th.
He told me that when I told him I was coming down there, he said that he knew for a fact that Anna would not want me there. And I said, "That's a lie." I was like, but whatever. And he goes, "If you step foot in Florida, I will have you arrested immediately for back child support."
And so you went anyway, right? Yeah. In disguise?
Of course. Yeah. I wore a wig, and I wore some really tall high heels, so that way, if he was looking for somebody short, he wouldn't see me.
And were you able to attend the funeral? Did anyone see you or spot you? Tell me what happened next when you got there.
Nobody spotted me. I kind of stayed in the back, close to the door, so if I needed to make a quick getaway, I could. It was really nice. They had a lot of pictures of my daughter. I didn't see her dad, but then again, I wasn't trying to either. I stayed for a little bit, but I didn't stay for the whole thing. My anxiety got too high, and I had to go.
And all that leads us to the newest information in the case, a bombshell interview given by Christopher Kepner to People magazine. He said, quote, "I do not stand behind what my stepson has done. I want him to face the consequences. I will be fighting to make sure that does happen." Now, he was also asked whether he thinks that his stepson killed Anna. He said, quote, "I cannot say that he is responsible, but I can't decline. He was the only one that was in the room, and the FBI has an ongoing investigation in which they will have to provide the evidence to say that he did do it or did not do this." Now, this case is always evolving, so that's everything we know so far at the time of this recording. However, new info could be coming out at any time.